chosen one. You carry within you the mark of a messenger of light in the midst of ordinary life. And because of this, even darkness cannot disregard your presence. I want you to become still in this moment. Not so that you may become proud of a title or separate yourself from others, but so that you may understand why you have always felt different in places that are too noisy, cold, and chaotic. A sacred beauty was placed within you long ago, before you knew how to name your pain, before you learned to conceal your sensitivity, and before the judgments of others caused you to doubt yourself. You were not created to dissolve into the crowd and lose the goodness at the heart of who you are. You were sent to bring peace into places of unrest, kindness into places where people have grown accustomed to suspicion, and to keep the lamp within you burning through the days when the world tries to convince you that kindness only makes you weak. I know you have often wondered why you feel everything more deeply than others. A careless word may remain with you for a long time. The sorrow of a stranger may weigh heavily upon your heart. And there are moments when you enter a place and immediately sense tension even before anyone speaks. The world may call you overly sensitive, but I do not want you to consider that a defect. This sensitivity was given so that you could perceive what lies beneath appearances. Recognize the pain hidden behind a smile, and hear the cry for help within silence. Yet this gift must also be protected through discernment, because you were not called to carry all the pain of the world upon your shoulders. You can love without emptying yourself. Listen without allowing every disturbance to enter the deepest places within you, and offer help while still knowing when to step back, because something lies beyond your responsibility. You once lived as though you needed to hide your light so that others would not feel uncomfortable. You diminished your voice, doubted what you sensed, and apologized many times simply because you were being honest about who you were. There were places where you had to pretend not to notice wrongdoing in order to be accepted, and relationships in which you were expected to remain silent about pain so that you could preserve a sense of belonging. But, my beloved, what is truly meant for you will never require you to betray integrity. Those who genuinely value you will not ask you to extinguish compassion, conceal wisdom, or live in fear merely so that they can feel secure. I am teaching you that humility does not mean denying your worth, and love does not mean permitting others to cross every boundary. Light knows how to bend down and lift someone, but light also knows how to illuminate what must be seen. Darkness continually tries to make you forget the goodness planted within you. It does not always appear through violent or obvious forms. Often it comes through a whisper, telling you that you are not good enough, that your efforts do not matter, that it is too late to begin again, or that you are too wounded to become useful. It uses rejection to persuade you that you have no value, delay to make you believe you have been forgotten, and former mistakes to keep you trapped in shame. But what darkness fears most is not a loud voice. It fears a person who understands their worth and still chooses to live through love. When you stop condemning yourself, accusations lose their authority. When you rise in peace, the memories that once made you tremble can no longer control your steps. And when you answer evil with goodness while maintaining wise boundaries, you become living evidence that pain cannot decide who you will become. The trials you faced were not proof that you were cursed or left behind. They were layers of training that helped you recognize that true strength is not found in avoiding all sorrow, but in preserving your heart through the things that could have hardened it. You passed through seasons when no one understood what you were fighting. Many times you sat alone at night, trying to gather your faith after a plan collapsed. Someone turned away, or a door closed without explanation. Each time, part of you wanted to surrender, yet a gentle calling still caused you to rise. That is why you are still here. Not because you never became discouraged, but because, after every moment of weakness, you still chose to return to truth, compassion, and the hope that tomorrow could be different. I want you to understand that the image of an angel in ordinary life is not an invitation to consider yourself greater than anyone else. On the contrary, it is a responsibility to live in such a way that your presence brings peace rather than confusion, encouragement rather than humiliation, and healing rather than further wounds. You do not need visible wings in order to become someone who opens a path for light. Each time you sit beside a person in despair without judging them, you are carrying out the work of a messenger. Each time you speak truth gently, you restore something that deception has distorted. Each time you defend someone vulnerable, refuse to participate in gossip, and choose forgiveness while maintaining boundaries, you make the place through which you pass brighter. Your greatest power is not the ability to make others afraid, but the ability to help them remember that they can still become better. Therefore, do not seek confirmation by trying to prove that you are special. What is sacred does not need display in order to be real. Let the way you live reveal it. Work honestly. Keep your promises even when no one is checking. Treat kindly those who can offer you no advantage, and admit when you are wrong. These small things are where strength is tested most clearly. Many people can speak grand words, but only someone who has been refined can preserve kindness when tired, calmness when provoked, and integrity when dishonest opportunity appears. I do not require perfection from you. I ask you to be sincere, willing to learn, and ready to change whenever you recognize that you have moved away from what is good. You may continue meeting people who do not understand you. They may consider your compassion naive, your silence weak, and the boundaries you establish cold. Do not rush into battle to change their perception. A tree does not stop growing simply because a passerby fails to recognize the value of its shade. Continue taking root in what is right. Care for the life entrusted to you, and allow time to reveal the fruit. Those capable of understanding will recognize you, while those who only wish to exploit you will gradually leave when they realize that you will no longer abandon yourself so easily. Their departure is not always a loss. Often it is the way space is purified so that more sincere connections can enter. Michael, I am reminding you that the light within you was not given so that you would live in fear of darkness. You do not need to obsess over forces opposing you or turn every difficulty into an invisible war. Focus on what you can plant today: a pure thought, responsible words, a wise decision, and an action that brings life. Darkness grows when you nurture resentment, despair, and self-contempt, while light becomes stronger when you choose truth, gratitude, and courage. Your strength is not a miracle that allows you to control everything. It is the ability not to allow circumstances to control you. It is the freedom to know who you are without stepping upon others, to understand your worth without requiring everyone's agreement, and to know that you are loved even on days when you accomplish nothing great. Now continue with clear eyes and a guarded heart. You no longer need to make yourself smaller in order to fit into places too narrow for your growth. Use sensitivity as a compass, but allow wisdom to guide you. Use compassion to strengthen others, but do not forget to care for yourself. Let what you endured become a source of understanding, not a prison that holds you back. You are a bearer of light, not because you have never walked through darkness, but because you passed through it and still refuse to become what once wounded you. That choice is what makes you beautiful. Live in a manner worthy of the mark placed within you, not through pride or display, but through a peaceful, stable, and loving life, so that wherever you are present, others may sense that hope still remains and that the road back to goodness has never been closed. Every delay you experienced carried a deeper meaning. Every trial quietly left behind a gift, and not one of your tears was forgotten. There were times when you looked back upon your journey and saw only long years of waiting, silent doors, and prayers that seemed unanswered. You wondered why you had to travel through so many winding roads merely to reach a place others appeared able to enter with ease. But, my beloved, I want you to understand that those slow stretches were not abandonment. They were places where I held you back in order to protect, teach, heal, and prepare you deeply enough for something a younger version of you could not have preserved. What you once called waste is beginning to reveal its value, because you are about to see the lessons of yesterday become the strength of today. You are now entering the first part of what you have patiently awaited. It may not arrive through loud noise or an event that changes everything in a single moment, but you will recognize it through the way knots begin to loosen. Clarity replaces confusion, and your mind no longer has to struggle violently before decisions that once exhausted you. When a good outcome has been established for your journey, what follows is the process through which it appears over time, through people, opportunities, and practical steps. Therefore, you are no longer standing outside and waiting to discover whether the answer will come. You have already entered the process of that answer. Every new measure of peace, every door opening slightly, and every moment when you courageously choose differently is evidence that what you prayed for is gradually taking form in your life. This is why you feel an inner force urging you forward, even though your mind sometimes pulls you back toward old memories. The past often speaks in a very familiar voice. It reminds you of failure, of people who left, of imperfect decisions, and of moments when you did not know how to protect yourself. It tries to persuade you that what happened before must happen again. But I have removed from the past its authority to decide your future. Those things may still remain in your memory, but they no longer sit upon the throne governing you. You can remember without returning. You can learn from pain without continuing to live inside it. You can enter something new without carrying every fear from the former season. Freedom begins when you stop treating memory as prophecy and recognize that you have become a different person. The battle being over does not mean you will never face difficulty again. Life will still contain days requiring patience, discernment, and endurance. But the trial that shaped the former season no longer possesses the authority to return in the same way. Its work has been completed. You have seen what needed to be seen, learned what needed to be learned, and developed a strength you did not possess before, because you no longer respond like the person who first entered the battle. The former cycle can no longer hold you, In the same way, the things that once easily caused you to panic no longer have enough power to make you lose direction. The words that once forced you to prove yourself are now merely sounds beyond the boundary of your peace. This inner transformation is the deepest protection I have built within you. I saw every hour when you felt alone. I know there were burdens you could not explain, because even when you tried to speak about them, others saw only a very small part. There were nights when you wondered whether anyone truly understood how hard you were trying, and days when you continued fulfilling responsibilities while almost no strength remained within you. When there was no applause, you still walked. When no one reminded you that you were doing well, you still tried to preserve integrity. When everything seemed silent, you still did not completely surrender hope. I was present in every one of those moments, quietly strengthening you so that you would not collapse beneath what was too heavy. You believed you were only surviving, but in truth, you were being formed into a depth that favorable days could never have created. That strength was not built without purpose. It is preparing you for a season in which responsibility will be greater, but also more meaningful. You are approaching a stage in which former burdens will no longer be only sources of pain, but material for wisdom. You will recognize sorrow in another person's eyes because you once had to hide your own. You will know how to strengthen someone who is lost because you once walked through days when you could not see the road. You will not quickly judge those who are discouraged, because you understand that someone may still be fighting even when they appear outwardly ordinary. Purpose will gradually replace meaninglessness, and the wounds that once made you doubt yourself will become light, helping you understand how you are meant to walk. The things that once confused you will gradually become easier to understand. You will look back and recognize why a relationship had to end, why an opportunity could not take form, and why you were required to pass through a season in which nothing seemed to progress. Some doors closed because no peace was waiting for you behind them. Some people left because they were suitable only for a former version of you. Some plans were delayed because, had they arrived earlier, you might have sacrificed something precious for a success you were not mature enough to carry. Not every painful thing was good, but I did not allow any pain to become meaningless. I gathered every broken piece, placed it correctly, and used what once weakened you to teach you how to stand. There is a reason everything has begun to feel different now. The tension is easing, not because you imagined peace, but because you no longer need to maintain a constant state of battle within. You no longer awaken feeling that you must protect yourself from a danger that has not yet happened. You are beginning to believe that a peaceful day does not have to be the silence before another storm. You are learning how to receive goodness without immediately suspecting that it will be taken away. This is a deep form of healing, because you are not merely escaping an old circumstance. You are being released from the habit of always expecting the worst. Peace is teaching you to live in the present rather than allowing yesterday's fear to steal today's joy. Even so, you may still notice remnants of the former battle. One sentence may awaken a memory. A familiar face may stir old emotion, or a similar circumstance may briefly make you fear that everything is repeating itself. Do not become afraid of those echoes. An echo merely proves that a sound once existed. It does not mean that the sound still rules the present. Former things may knock, but you no longer need to open the door. Fear may try to speak, but you are no longer required to believe it. The difference is not that nothing ever touches you, but that you now know how to return to calmness more quickly. Distinguish memory from reality and recognize that temporary emotion has no right to steer your life. Therefore, do not give the remnants of the old season more attention than they deserve. When you continually return to check what has ended, you unintentionally slow your steps toward the future. Stop replaying conversations in your mind that you cannot change. And stop seeking recognition from those who have already chosen to misunderstand you. Direct your focus toward what is being built, habits that bring peace, relationships founded upon respect, opportunities that allow you to mature, and choices that help you live closer to your true self. Your energy is precious. Do not spend it keeping the past more alive than the future. My beloved, I did not bring you through battle merely so that you would continue living like someone surrounded by enemies. I brought you out so that you could relearn how to open your heart to joy, trust with wisdom, and move forward without continually looking behind you. Your victory will be seen not only through outward changes, but through the calmness in your eyes, the clarity in your words, and your ability to leave what is unhealthy without creating conflict. You will no longer need to prove that you are strong, because strength will reveal itself through your refusal to react to what once easily provoked you. You will not need to announce that you are free, because freedom will be recognized in the choices you make each day. Continue moving forward, because this is the time to live in the fruit of what was built across a long journey. Do not demand that every sign appear at once. Recognize each small change and value it. A more peaceful night of sleep. A decision no longer ruled by fear. A boundary you courageously establish. Or one moment when you choose silence instead of rushing into conflict are all precious forms of evidence. You have traveled farther than you realize, matured more than you can see, and been prepared at a depth others cannot recognize. Heavy days are giving way to clearer purpose. Old questions are gradually receiving answers, and the past is no longer where you belong. Walk as someone released from chains. Remain humble, protect your peace, and receive the new season with gentle trust. I was with you in the battle, and I remain here as you begin learning how to live fully after victory. You have outgrown the mold of your present environment, and the limitations around you are no longer wide enough to contain what I am preparing to open within your life. My beloved, the feeling of confinement, pressure, and no longer belonging in what was once familiar is not evidence that you are failing or becoming ungrateful. It is the call of growth, urging you beyond what has completed its role. Some spaces once protected you, but now make it difficult to breathe. Some habits once helped you survive, but have now become walls preventing progress. Some relationships once brought familiarity, but no longer possess the ability to support the new person gradually forming within you. I do not deny the value of former stages, but neither do I want you to build a permanent home in a season that was meant only to prepare you for something greater. The tension you have recently felt exists because your inner life has expanded while your surrounding environment has remained the same size. Just as a seed that has broken its shell cannot return to its former state. You cannot continue diminishing yourself in order to fit places that have become too small. You are longing for more room to think, breathe, create, and live honestly according to what I have placed within you. Do not immediately call that longing dissatisfaction when it is accompanied by peace, discernment, and a desire for growth. It may be confirmation that it is time to move forward. I am creating space for your blessing not only by bringing something new, but also by gently removing what occupies a place that no longer belongs to it. However, do not interpret my urgency as pressure that should drive you into panic. I do not guide you through confusion, nor do I ask you to act without careful thought. I simply do not want you to delay forever a step you already know deep within is necessary. There is a difference between waiting for clarity and remaining still because of fear. Wise waiting helps you prepare, while anxious delay causes you to return continually to the same place. Each time you allow fear to decide for you, you lengthen the distance between where you are and where I desire to lead you. A blessing will not disappear because of one moment of hesitation, but you may exhaust yourself by continuing to hold on to a closed door while a new road stands open beside you. You are not alone in this repositioning. I am walking with you through every seemingly small decision, every restless night, and every moment when you wonder whether you possess enough strength to begin again. When you are uncertain about the direction to take, I will give you enough light to recognize the next step. When a fitting door appears, you will recognize it not only by its appealing appearance, but also by peace, integrity, and its ability to help you grow without requiring you to lose yourself. Necessary support will arrive through the right people, at the right time, and perhaps through ways different from what you originally imagined. You do not need to control the whole journey. Your part is to remain discerning. Do well what is already in your hands, and respond courageously when guidance becomes clear. This transition is not only about where you will live, it concerns the person you will become when you enter the new space. Where you are going will require a more mature version of you, someone able to manage time, emotions, finance, and opportunities wisely. You cannot carry every habit from the former season into the new one and expect a different result. Therefore, while outward circumstances are being arranged, I am also correcting many things within you. I am teaching you how to say no without guilt, rest without calling yourself lazy, receive assistance without believing yourself weak, and enter a new door without apologizing because you have grown. You are no longer the person who began this journey. What you experienced gave you discernment you did not possess before. You learned how to recognize empty promises, distinguish temporary friendliness from lasting sincerity, and understand what is a genuine opportunity and what is merely glitter intended to distract you. You discovered that not every place accepting you is a place where you should remain, and not every long-standing relationship is meant to accompany you to the end. Those lessons sometimes came through tears, but they were not wasted. I used them to prepare you to enter a space where you will no longer sacrifice peace merely for the feeling of belonging. The things that did not succeed before are also leading you toward this very moment. A broken plan forced you to reconsider your direction. A painful rejection prevented you from binding your life to an unsuitable door. A season that appeared motionless helped you develop ability, refine your motives, and recognize what truly matters. No experience is wasted when you allow me to transform it into wisdom. Even imperfect choices can become markers that keep you from repeating the old road. You do not need to carry shame over what has passed. Carry only the lesson and lay everything else down in peace. The truth is that you prayed many times for expansion, but expansion always requires some form of movement. You cannot continue living in the same way, preserve every limitation, and still expect an entirely new life to form around you. Your prayer is being answered, but the answer does not always come as a gift immediately placed into your hands. Sometimes the answer is a change of environment, a necessary farewell, a new job, a different home, or a renewed way of thinking. What you call disruption may be the process through which I return every part of your life to its proper place. I am not destroying your stability. I am teaching you to distinguish true peace from familiarity that merely made you believe you were safe. There are things you called stability that were actually repetition. You knew what each day would bring, understood the boundaries around you, and knew that avoiding change would protect you from many risks. Yet deep within, you also knew that you were living beneath the ability entrusted to you. Safety is not always proof that you are in the right place. A cage remains a cage, even when beautifully decorated. It can never become the sky. I do not want you to spend your whole life settling for just enough because you fear what you do not know. I am opening a wider space before you, where your abilities can be nurtured, your voice can be respected, and the seeds you have protected for so long can finally grow. Even so, walk with awareness rather than illusion. Blessing does not mean you will never need to work or that every problem will vanish by itself. The new place will still require you to labor, learn, adapt, and accept responsibility for your decisions. The difference is that you will no longer spend all your strength fighting against an environment that continually pulls you downward. In suitable ground, a seed still requires care, but it does not have to struggle every day to prove that it deserves to grow. I am leading you toward a place where diligence can produce results. Creativity can be used, and the qualities you quietly developed can be expressed in the right way. Therefore, do not resist merely because everything feels unfamiliar. Examine carefully, prepare responsibly, and take each step in peace. You do not need to leave everything behind in one sudden moment. But do not use preparation as a reason never to begin. Arrange what must be arranged. Complete unfinished responsibilities, and gently close the doors belonging to the former season. When you move with integrity, the necessary pieces will gradually appear. I will not allow you to lack guidance in a moment of important decision, nor will I lead you into a new space only to leave you there in despair. My beloved, some doors open only when you reach the land prepared for you. Some people can meet you only after you leave the familiar circle, and certain abilities within you can awaken only when a new circumstance requires them. This is not an escape from the past, but a response to the future. You are being repositioned so that what I placed within you will have enough room to grow and will no longer be compressed by outdated limitations. Continue with steadfast trust, because I am not only preparing a new place for you, I am preparing you to become wise, strong, and open enough to live fully within it.